Day 2 of CAT preparation. Number of hours spent today on the prep is 3.5. The topics that I studied are percentages, arrangements, and VARC intro. I have listened to the classes on VARC and arrangements, and I have practiced previous year questions on percentage topic. I have spent 3.5 hours today on the CAT prep. Getting into the details, let me start with VA. So in VA, what I understood from the class is that we will get 8 questions from VA section. And the questions are of these types. So we can have para jumbles, we can have odd man out, or put the sentence in the blanks of the para, or para summary kind of questions in the VA section. So what is para jumbles means? Like he will give you a question with 4 options, and each option will have a sentence. And we need to tell the order of these sentences such a way that it forms a meaningful paragraph. So let's say, for example, if I say B, C, A, D, we may have to arrange the sentences in these options in this order to form a meaningful paragraph. So one technique or one strategy to to form this order is that generally the first line will not have any pronouns. Pronouns in the sense he, she, or it. It will not start if the line is starting with these pronouns, then it's not the first sentence. Okay. And also the last sentence is generally a conclusion of the entire paragraph in general. Right? So just make sure that when you're trying to form the order, when you're trying to arrange them in an order, make sure that the first line does not start with a pronoun, and the last sentence is generally kind of a conclusion or a closing statement. And the second thing is, you can also, what I understood is that we can also see what if the sentences are forming the pairs, like BC could be one pair or CA can be a pair. So when I say pair, there will be the first line will be a general statement and the second line will be a specific statement. Okay, so that is about the para jumbles. Then odd man out is in the sense like you will be given 4 or 5 sentences and you will be asked to select a sentence which is not in line with the context. For example, let's say the first 4 lines are talking about air pollution. And let's say the last line is talking about deforestation. Right? Then we can say that option E is the odd man because the rest of the sentences are talking about air pollution, whereas this one is talking about deforestation. Okay. And the third one is put the sentence in the blank of the para. Like you will be given a sentence and then you'll be given a para, and the para will have blanks in between the lines. In between the lines, it will have blanks. So you need to tell this sentence will fit in which of these blanks. Okay, so that is the put the sentence in the blank of the paragraph, that kind of questions. And the fourth type is para summary. Like you will be given a paragraph and the options will have the sentences. Okay, now we need to tell which of these options are best describing the entire paragraph. Okay, so those are the para summary questions. Okay, next coming to LRDI. What I understood is that there are 3 kinds of, or there are 3 topics in this particular chapter, arrangements chapter. We have row arrangement, queue, and circular arrangement. In row arrangement, it's basically the people sit or stand side by side. Okay. And when we talk about row arrangement, it is very important that we know about immediate right and immediate left. So when we say immediate right and immediate left, it is exactly, on the right side, it is immediate right, or exactly on the left side of that person. Whereas when we say right or left, it could be anywhere on the right hand side. When I say right, a person is sitting on the right hand side of another person. It need not be the immediate right. It can be anywhere on the right hand side. Similarly, if I say that a person is sitting on the left side, then he can sit anywhere on the left hand side. Need not be exactly beside him. But if I say immediate right and immediate left, that means the person is sitting exactly beside him. Okay. And the thing is, in row arrangement, you generally take, if you are facing north, then this will be your right hand side, and this will be your left hand side. And if you're facing south, then this will be your left hand side, and this will be your right hand side. Okay, so those are row arrangement kind of questions. And then in queue arrangement, the people are standing behind each other. So in row arrangement, they stand beside each other. In queue arrangement, they stand behind each other. So there will be a front and there will be a rear. Okay. Next, coming to circular arrangement, when the people are sitting on a circular table, they may face each other, or they're facing towards the table, or they may face opposite to the table. That's very important to understand. Or it may happen that few of them are facing towards the table and few of them are facing opposite to the table. Okay. Next, coming to percentages, quant. What I have understood is, also I have done two previous year questions on this topic, percentages topic. Let me open that. So, those two questions again are from 2024. The first question that you're seeing on the screen, I felt it is easy. Okay, so basically he has given the incomes of three people, ratio of the incomes of three people, and he has given the percentage of that incomes, the rent being paid by them in percentages. And then he's saying that the salary is being increased in the next month. And that time, what will be the, at that time, the rent will be what percent of the total income. So there are three characters now, like Kamal, Amal, and Vimal. And the ratio is given as 8:6:5. Okay, so this income ratio. So what I can do is I can take this as 8x income, this as 6x income, and this as so 8x, 6x, and 5x is their incomes. Now, when he's saying rent, Kamal's rent is 15% of his income, right? And Amal's rent is 12% of his income, and Vimal's rent is 18% of his income. So what I need to do is I have to do 15% of 8x, or I have to do 12% of 6x, right? So this is what is like when if somebody is asking you to find percentage of something, like how do you calculate? That is something that we should know. Like if I have to calculate 15% of 8x, what I'll do 15 by 100 into 8x. Okay. And the second part of the question says that the salaries are increasing by 10%, 12%, 15%. So when I say 10% increase of 8x, what does that mean? It is basically 1.1 times of 8x. Or when the question is saying 12% increase of 6x, it basically means 1.12 times of 6x. Okay. So I think this is like whenever a percentage increase happens, how will you calculate the value is what we should know. So there are two parts of this. First part is that we should know how to find the percentage of a certain value. And second part is whenever there is an increase in the value, how will you find the percentage increase? Okay, so those are the two concepts that are involved in solving this question. So this I was able to solve, it was easy. And the next question, the fruit seller question, for me, it was difficult. So basically, when I heard the solution in the YouTube, what I understood is that it is easy if we write like this, the number of mangoes plus bananas plus apples, if we take that as one variable t, right? And then if we start solving it, we will be able to solve it. So what it says at the beginning of a day, the number of mangoes made up of 40% of his stock. So that means the number of mangoes made up of 40% of his stock is M is equal to 0.4 of T, right? Next, what is he saying? That day he sells half of the mangoes, 96 bananas and 40% of the apples, right? Now, when I said here from first statement that mangoes is equal to 0.4 of T, that means what? Banana plus apples is equal to 0.6 times of T, because T minus 0.4 T is 0.60, right? So this is from the first sentence. This one, at the beginning of the day, the number of mangoes made up 40% of the stock. And the remaining, the next line that says that day uh, he sells half of the mangoes, 96 bananas, and 40% of the apples, right? So when he said that, so what does that mean? That means that day he has uh, sold half of the mangoes, right? Now, half of the mangoes is M by 2. That means, can I write 0.2 T, right? And he sold how many bananas? 96 bananas. And he sold how many apples? 40% of the apples, right? So let me write 0.4 of it equal to, read the next line. At the end of the day, he ends up selling 50% of the fruits. So this will be equal to 0.5 times of T. So now this will give us an equation with A in terms of T. So what will be A? A will be equal to, like, 0.4 of A is equal to 0.3 T minus 96. And A is equal to, if I multiply everything by 10, I think I should get 3 by 4 T minus 960. So when you get this kind of equation, then you try to take the T value such a way that it is a multiple of 20, so that you don't end up getting a fraction for A, because ultimately the number of apples or number of mangoes or bananas should be a whole number, or I mean a natural number in this case, right? So you should not end up getting a fraction. So make sure that you get the T value as you take a T value which is actually a multiple of 4. Yeah. So I mean, this thought, or I was not able to get to this particular equation. That's why I felt this question as difficult. You can let me know your thoughts in the comments. All right. So tomorrow's agenda is to listen to the class of reading comprehension. On that, I'll be spending 2 hours of time. And then to solve 6 PYQs from the ratios and percentages topic, which should take me around 1.5 hours. The overall plan is to listen to the classes on QA, LRD, and VRC as usual, practicing the questions daily. I mean, have to give the mocks regularly, have to complete all the previous year CAT by 2026, and prepare a formula notes. Thank you.